Follow-up discussion on chi-square test. So as you all know that for chi-square test, we need some value, right? We call it as observed value. From there, one of the prerequisite is that you need to know what is the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is very easy. Number of rows -1, number of columns -1. You can easily find degree of freedom. And probability of significance, whether you need 0.05 or 0.1, that is 10 percentage or 5 percentage. 5 percentage will give you confidence level of 95 percentage, and 10 percentage will give you confidence level of 90 percentage, right? So this is the common step. Degree of freedom and probability, there is only one way of finding out. Now in expected method, there are two kind of options you have. One option is that you can do it by manual method, like end of column times end of row divided by total value. That you can do for each value, each observed value. You can find that way in order to find the expected value. Another one is a proportion one, which we discussed in the past. And if you wanted to do it directly like chi-square, you wanted to find only the p-value, and you wanted to conclude from the probability, sorry, for the observed value and expected value, then you can go ahead and apply the formula chi-square dot test observed value and then expected range. So both range you can key in and you will get the answer, right? So you will get whether the p-value will determine everything. If the p-value is less than 0.05, that means you will reject the null hypothesis. If it is greater than 0.05, that is 5%, you will accept the null hypothesis. That's it. So the whole thing is completed. So only if you're doing it on the the direct method, in order to find the observed value and the expected value without not finding out the critical value and statistic test, then this is the easiest way. Let's say you also want to be very sure, you want to find out the critical value, you wanted to also find the statistic test. Another word, you wanted to find what is the region critical value and then region of rejection, and the probability of 95 percentage confidence. Like if you wanted to find, this is very very useful. And here it will give you, although it is a part of it and it will give you the direct result, but here you will get to know what is the region of rejection, right? And this is the one, and then you will find the p-value. So these two step is added. One is a critical value you can find by inputting chi-square dot inversely proportionate inverse dot rt. Rt stand for rate right tail, right? So chi-square dot inv dot rt, right tail, you will find the alpha value you need to key in. For example, in this case, in our case, if the alpha value is 0.05, you can key in, and degree of freedom, you will get the critical value. And statistic, you will get all the sum value, summation of this is the formula. So the observed value minus the expected value whole the power square, and then divided by, and again you have to find the expected value, right? You can divide by that, so you will get it. And then p-value you can find. P-value will have two components. This from this, because we already know this value of statistic test, we can find, and then degree of freedom. So we are, from this you will get the p-value, and then we can further determine what's the p-value and all that you can easily find out. This is the in easy way. There are two way. One, you can directly go ahead and find it. Another way is that you can find this way. So we are going to find the example number 3, the example number 4, we are going to do it. So example number 4 is quite different. So here what I did, I have just created the pivot table. So we'll see, let me just delete this one so that one more time we can do it. So this is the value. So gender, this is coming from find out whether the activity level varies across the gender significantly, right? So we have a gender, so male and female, and activity, there are 3 different categorical value you have: a lot, moderate, or slight. So these 3, right? For one of the value we can do is that countif formula you can do, but the other fastest way you can do it is that you can find the pivot table, right? Go to pivot table, an existing page. I'm going to keep the value here, right here, and enter. You will get the chi-square one. I already there. So what I'm doing it, activity level, I'll keep it here, and then male and female, I'll keep it here, and then activity level, I need to find out the values. So now this has been done. So now you can see here. Yeah, now you can see here that this is the activity by gender. So now we got that value, right? So this value, what I'm going to do is that, let me delete everything. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this one and make it as a simple table. So right, I will paste it as simple value table so that we can easily do it. So I'll do a little bit formatting, and one more time I will copy paste this value, and I will just do it here. Okay. One more time I will copy paste. This is the one. First thing, what we call it as step number 1, right? This is called observed value. Step number 2, from the observed value, we are going to do it directly the expected value. Expected value is required in order to, we can perform the chi-square only using the expected value, right? Expected value or range, whatever you may call it. So this is the one. Third one is that we are going to find the statistic tests, right? We can do. And the fourth one, we can get the summary or result. Let's do it. So now what I'm doing it, let me also do it in a proportion method also as well. Let's do this way. Okay. So now what I'm doing it, so first this is observed value, and I need to find out the expected value. So expected value, as we learned that there are two methods in the flow chart, there are two methods. One, end of column times end of row divided by total value, or method 2 is proportionment. So what I'm doing it, end of column, end of rows, right, times end of this one, end of row, end of column times end of row divided by total value. Total value is going to be this one. So what I'm doing it, so this, the denominator I'm going to apply for all. So I'm going to give F3, or I can just give manually. 1 second. So yeah. So I'm going to give this manually here. Okay. Now this is for 5, the expected value is 8, right? So maybe I will, now itself I'll adjust to keep it like only one decimal, so it will look neat. Yeah. Okay. So now the next value you can see here, if I give like this, the value will be keep refilling, right? So it's pointing to the next one, right? What I can do, so I can just apply the dollar symbol here so that it will become absolute reference, and so dollar symbol here, copy this one, copy this one. So here, okay. Okay, sorry. So I can just, okay, maybe I can change it to L. Okay, so copy this. Okay, let's see. So this is a J. J is what? J is the end of column. So end of column, I have to, I think I have done it wrong. So end of column is, this is column. So column mean I'm gonna keep it in center. End of row, I will keep it here, and this is going to be same. So now it should work. Copy and paste it here. So now for 16, the expected range is that you have 59. So I will copy this one, paste it here, and paste it here. So now what I will do is that I will cross check. So the whole value is 91. So it is matching, right? So the whole value is 21 is matching, and here 30, it is 61 is matching. So all it is matching. I'm just doing a cross check, so it is matching. So easy way, if you want by column, keep the dollar in the middle. If you want by row, keep the dollar in the the first, right, prefix. And then if you want denominator both the side, then you can keep it in both the side. So this is done. Once it is done, now what I have to do, I have to find the expected range, right? So the formula, so I don't need the sum value. All I have to do is that I have to find only this value. I can do it later. So what I can do, this, if we know the formula, you can see here. This is the formula, like some, so we can just apply that formula here, equal to observed value minus expected value whole the power 2, I'm just power 2 divided by, and again, once again, that expected value. So give OK. And then I'm dragging this up. Okay, 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 okay. So this is all done. And once again, I'll keep it only one decimal. This is fine, more than fine. So the whole value, right? And double check. So this is correct. This is correct. Yeah. So the whole value, what we call it as statistic value, right? So 2.5. Great. Now we got the 2.5. Now we will do in both ways. Direct. Sorry. So we can do it in both ways. Before we'll find a level of significance. Let's say level of significance, I need only 0.05, 95% confidence, degree of freedom. Degree of freedom, we know. So end of row. So here we have how many columns? We have 2 columns, right? 2 minus 1 times how many rows we have? 3 rows we have. That means a lot, moderate, and slight. 3 minus 1. So 2, right? And then, so what we have to find? We have to find out the chi-square test for statistics. It has 3 different names. One is statistical test or chi-square test for statistic. I will just invoke this formula. And critical value. So critical value, as we know that we have learned the formula. In the past also we have discussed. So critical value formula is chi-square dot inv dot rt, right? The same thing, you can keep it here. Chi-square. So RT means right tail, right? Probability is this one, and degree of freedom is 2. We got the critical value. And then from the critical value, we can find the p value. That is, there are 2 methods is there. So one, we can put like chi-square. We can check the formula here. So I have given the formula here in the flow chart also, chi-square distribution. Now we can find chi-square distribution rate tail. So x is what? We know that x is the this one, 2.5, we got it. Degree of freedom, we got the degree of freedom is 2. So this is the one. As you can see that this is qualifying the null hypothesis since it is greater than 5%. So you can see here it is 29%. So, okay, this is one way, the long way where we are finding out the rejection statistical value and all that. And the quickest way is that we can just simply put chi-square test, actual value. This is going to be an actual value, comma, expected value. This is going to be an expected value, and enter. So you can see here the values are perfectly matching. This one equal to this one, perfectly matching, right? So this also 29%. That means, so gender and, so what we are concluding is that gender and activity are not, there is no significant difference. So either male is doing the same activities like moderate a lot, and the same male and female also same. So there is no significant changes between these two gender, right? So one thing what in the past video also I talked about it. So when you know the value, you can just key in the template, you will automatically get. You don't need to even do this also as well. For example, I know this is observed value. Let me take the print shot. I can just do a quick data entry, automatically I will get it, right? So I'm just copying this one, pasting it here. Okay. And what I'm doing it a lot, I mean, male and female, if you wanted to address, you can also do it. But here in this case, I have like this. So I have in this format, like a lot and all that is there. So male, you can see here, male. So a lot 16 and followed by moderate is 35 and 5. And then 5, 26, 4, right? So you can see 91, this is also 91, sum of this is 91. Automatically we got this proportion method also, we can go ahead. like this divided this, that means male is 61% and female is 62 and 38%, right? We can also get to know that the this value also as well, that is the expected value, and then we can also find the statistical value, statistical test, right? We can just directly same way what we did, and we got this value, and expected frequency assumption is violated because it is greater than 0.05, right? In both the cases we got the same value. All you have to do is that you just need to key in the value, you will get it. So the same thing, I'm quoting a case study. One more case study will take it, so I will just control and paste it here. This is, maybe we can give an example number 5. Okay. So now the case study is that it is given in the book called Statistic for Management, page number 532, and it's a practice sum. All we have to do is that there is a silicon chip sales, whether in the US economy it has an impact or not, right? So now what I'm doing it, I'm just keeping it 3 value. So here the values are different. So I'm going to change here. Here it shows high, medium, and then you have a low. Here at peak, and then falling. I'm going only with the 2, 1, right? If you wanted to have more than 2 also you can do. For example, let's say in this case, we have seen more than 2 also as well, right? So we can do. So based on your requirement, you can go ahead. We can adjust rows to column, column to rows accordingly. But in this case, I'm just keeping, because I have only 2 at peak and falling, right? At peak, we have 20 million sales, and then 7 million sales of chips. Another one is 3 million of sales. So this is the value. Falling, when it comes to falling, we have 30. And here we have 5. I'm quoting from that book. And here we have again 5. 30 and 70, and then automatically you can see here this has been calculated, expected value is calculated, we can say proportion. So here at peak we have 42, and drop, falling, we have 57, right? Okay, it's just a case study, right? It's a weekly sales case study, but week to week the value could also be different, right? But they call it as peak and falling. Okay, now what we need to find out is that we need to find out the level of significance they have given is not 0.05, 0.1 we have given, that 10%. And degree of freedom, we know that degree of freedom is 3 minus 1 and 2 minus 1, so 2. So we can see that this is the peak or the falling of, this is the activity of silicon chip, right? Has no influence on it, right? In every cases, we have good sale assets. So this is how we can easily get to know the value. So I hope you find it useful. Please do share, like, share, subscribe the channel. You have a wonderful day ahead.